Hello everyone. Welcome to today's Eldercare Channel webinar. I'm John Redden, and with me today is Aaron Fletcher. We're delighted you could join us. We have much to discuss. Now for just a second, I want to talk about a really important member of the Eldercare Channel team. Mr. Aaron Fletcher began working with us in December after successful stints with both Nolo.com and Caring.com, where he led efforts that resulted in both sites generating more than 1 million visitors a month. There may be 100 or so people in the country whose SEO talents match Aaron's, but there aren't 10 that are better. Aaron arrived right about the time we were going to launch Eldercare Channel 2.0. And after a careful look at what had been created, how it functioned, and what it could do, he asked us a wonderful question. He said, guys, do you want to have a site with pretty much the same functionality as many other senior care web directories? Or do you want to have the finest senior care web directory in existence? As you can imagine, we picked option 2. As we contemplated Eldercare Channel 2.0 and the needs of all of our video hosts, we've created a website platform that is uniquely poised to take advantage of all the chaos that Google's algorithm changes have wrought throughout the industry. With the local focus each of our Eldercare Channels employs, the content strategy we have created, the communication systems we will be implementing, and the local resources we can tap and utilize to accomplish multiple goals, you, our video hosts, will very soon be in a position to have your channel securing top rankings for the most coveted search terms related to senior care in your city. And you may very well never have to relinquish those top rankings. Aaron?
Hey, welcome everybody. Thank you for that introduction, John, and it's a pleasure to be here. What I want to do today is talk about some of the advantages of the Eldercare Channel as a platform itself, and then get into the content strategy that we're going to be implementing along with the help of our video hosts. Google prefers WordPress, which is our new platform, over Expression Engine from a general sense, as it's much faster, more search engine friendly. Page speed is a major factor when it comes to search engines, by the way. Google wants to provide a good user experience, and that means that websites load quickly independently. WordPress also has much better SEO tools for every page that we publish. We're going to get into those details in a little bit, but from a large 30,000-foot perspective, it's just a superior platform to build a website.
Well, and you know, Aaron, the layout is so improved over the old site. If you remember the old site, one of the challenges that we had is that oftentimes when the primary category pages arrived on someone's screen, all of the wonderful content of all the providers appeared beneath the fold. And so oftentimes viewers wouldn't realize that there was all that great content, and this is something that we've really overcome with the new channel. One of the other issues that we had with the old channel was that we only had room for 4 insider tips articles on each category page. So the idea of giving one of those away as a relationship builder or as a perk or as a thank you was kind of painful, because in a perfect world we want people to buy those. So let's take a look at the new site and some of the things that we've done. With the new site, what's great is when the category pages appear, viewers can see immediately all the wonderful content that exists on the page. And this is a real great advantage for those companies that get preferred displays where they're appearing at the top of the page. One of the other things that we've been able to do with the front page and with all of the pages is that we are integrating them with any social media that you're doing, also with your website. All of that functionality is now available with the new site. Now, as we scroll down the page, what you'll see is that we now have room for unlimited insider tip articles. And that's great not only from a content perspective as far as building your search rankings, but it's also great as far as relationship builders and being able to invite various leaders, senior care professionals in your city to have some free articles in ways of building relationships and also attracting additional paid insider tip writers who are going to covet these spots and are going to really benefit from their presence there. Lastly, the thing that we have that I'm really probably most excited about and that the old channel did not possess is that we now have the ability on every single page of the Eldercare Channel to capture names, email addresses, phone numbers, and information of prospective clients not only for your business, but for the providers that are on your channel. So that's why we're so excited about Eldercare Channel 2.0, and Aaron's going to talk now about how it's going to put us in a position, and how it puts us into a position to handle what's going on in the world of search.
Sure. Thank you, John. I want to zoom out a little bit and talk about how the online marketing landscape in general is changing. You see these statistics all the time, but it's quite amazing that over 2 billion consumers use the web as a primary research tool these days. The thing is that Google has changed and adapted to this, trying to provide, again, that better user experience for people, causing a lot of confusion in the SEO marketplace, especially to small business owners and senior care providers who might have hired SEO agencies to do a lot of backlinking or things that just don't work anymore. So people were more focused on kind of appeasing the search engines instead of good old-fashioned education-based marketing, trying to reach your target audience and help them learn more about the issues that they have. Google has almost waged war on traditional search engine optimization, and there's a reason why we're very well positioned for the new world in terms of Google and search engines. Many of those old SEO strategies were schemes to fool search engines and kind of just go pay somebody to build a bunch of links to your site, and you'd be able to outrank your competitors based on these tactics that SEO companies were doing that weren't actually geared towards reaching people. So the Panda update was the first major kind of offensive change Google made to try to target websites that had low quality content that weren't providing helpful information. Then the Penguin update came out and targeted websites with spammy backlinks. So again, companies and directories that were hiring oftentimes outsourced groups just to build a bunch of backlinks. The bottom line is that content more than ever is king and forever will be. There are no more tricks that we can take to accomplish our goals online. And the Eldercare Channel platform is the best way to create and publish local senior care content. It's unequaled in its effectiveness in that regard.
Well, I mean, Aaron, that's right. I mean, again, nobody was or really is taking the time to do it right. And if they are now starting to try to do it right with their own websites, they don't have a platform like the Eldercare Channel. One of the great things about the platform, combined with what we're going to be doing to facilitate content creation, is that it's going to allow us, each of our video hosts, to build incredible relationships with senior care providers throughout their cities who are in a position to send them a lot of word-of-mouth referrals. In addition to that, the content that's created, Google loves this stuff. It's locally focused. It's 100% unique. And again, it's going to put us in a great position to rank across the board. And with those kinds of rankings, of course, we have more viewers. And with more viewers, we've got more client prospects. We've got more pages being visited. And every time, if you remember, every time a provider page is visited on your Eldercare channel, that provider gets an email instantaneously from you and your Eldercare channel reminding them of the wonderful thing that you've done by allowing them on your channel and letting them know that they've just received another potential referral. Finally, a larger audience also makes advertising on your site a very enviable position, and that's why we're so excited about where we are and why we're going to win in this climate.
Sure. And so how are we going to do that? There are really two initiatives we have in place. One of them a communication tool, one of them a content strategy. The first thing I want to bring up is Basecamp, which is it's the world's best communication and project management platform on the web. So each of your channels, each of your Eldercare channels has its own Basecamp project, and the purpose of this is to connect everyone in your offices with our teams, and beyond that, expanding that to the correspondence, which we'll talk about. So anybody related to the Eldercare channel, that kind of microcosm in your own market, will be in one central communication place. Now this allows us to do things like keep running tallies of action steps and all the minute steps required to publish content. We're also going to have training tutorials, a place for you to ask questions and get answers 24/7 around the clock from our team, from your channel support crew there. And it also sends reminders that we need when things aren't completed right on time. So Basecamp and your Eldercare channel project provides every step necessary for for success with your channel, and it's documented every step along the way. So you might notice that you've received an email inviting you to your Basecamp project. We'll conduct training here coming up on that, but you can see an example here that it's just a wonderful tool that has every discussion going on, tasks, files, training documents, and schedules, everything related to the strategy that we're going to talk about now. Another tool that we're really happy to be launching is the Eldercare Channel University. This is a place with training videos and resources and kind of all those things necessary if you want to learn how to select, when we talk about setting up your video studio, for example, how to select the right webcam and upload that, and how to write blog posts, or how to build more relationships with correspondents. All the steps, all the systems that we're going to be launching will have training materials to support. Let's zoom out before we get into the details and the specific timeline coming up about what I call the very basic three-step marketing funnel and how the Eldercare Channel addresses each of those phases. For every small business owner, eldercare provider, elder law attorney, or home care provider, there are three goals and phases of online marketing. We need to get you in front of your target audience, those families and consumers that have questions and needs related to elder law or senior care or assisted living, and engage them through compelling content like video, and reach them on social media channels, and provide the answers to their questions that they're so desperately asking online. Then finally, conversion is simply generating qualified leads and referrals. Conversion means action. It does no good to reach them and have them receive an answer to a question if we can't get them to take action and take that next step. So the Eldercare Channel strategy employs 5 different kind of channels, all 5 available channels to reach your audience. So all this great content we're going to be publishing via articles and videos is syndicated out to social media channels, which drives people back to your channel. We also, the whole core of what we're talking about with Google is to rank in organic search for both what we call short and long tail search terms. So having people come to your channel and the vendors within your channel on Google. And we're going to talk a little bit in a moment about our correspondent program and the immediate steps we're going to take. The correspondent program is arguably the most unique component of the Eldercare Channel content strategy, and using local experts for both a resource of referrals and content. And then there's good old-fashioned offline or local media. We can never forget about the power of reaching people via what has become the path less traveled with local media. And finally, we want to talk about vendor referrals and the things that we're going to do to have all the home care, nursing home, assisted living facilities on your channel see you as a resource of positive referrals and create a two-way communication stream for client referrals there.
Well, and Aaron, you mentioned the correspondent program, and I know that some that are on the line right now are familiar with, they've had it explained to them. But the idea of the correspondent really kind of comes from the idea of the foreign correspondent, the person on the ground that's got all the information and is reporting back to the home front. And what we envision as a correspondent is someone in your community who has long established ties in the senior care profession. They know everything, and they know everybody about local senior care. And the primary prospects that we're looking for our correspondents are geriatric care managers. They work with multiple services and lots of different families, and they are in a position to be able to provide us wonderful content. And what's nice about the platform that we have is we're in a position to offer them a stage and an audience that they really would relish having. And so with those two things together, it really creates a wonderful potential not only for a relationship that's going to send you referrals from the correspondents themselves, but is also going to put you in a position where they're going to be able to talk up your channel in your city, get people really excited about it, get people on board, and ultimately help you enter that world, enter that senior care industry in your town, and be in a position to build long-lasting relationships that ultimately, again, create wonderful referral sources for you for long-term growth of your business.
And along with those correspondent relationships, we really need to address the relationships with the providers themselves. A lot of people talk about the continuum of care or the senior living spectrum, which is that there's a clear path along this continuum of care. As symptoms or diagnoses advance, there are different resources along this continuum, and on your channel there should be each of those categories represented and a specific strategy for us to build relationships. Now, a lot of attorneys don't have the relationships that a geriatric care manager might have in their local community. So aside from being just a direct lead generator, the Eldercare Channel should be a networking platform or a tool to be used to build relationships with these providers. So let's talk about some of the benefits of doing that, and then we're going to get into the strategies. Providers love the free exposure that they get on the Eldercare Channel. Those automated emails that are going out constantly are each a positive reminder of the gift that their presence represents on the channel, and will pave the way for a more formal referral or networking program. And these video interviews with providers, they foster ties with all the local providers in your market. So we're going to talk about how you can set up a real simple studio if you elect to do so and have these providers interviewed. And that we don't even need to talk about the benefit of Google. This content, these interviews and overviews and vignettes of providers don't exist anywhere else on the web. So being their kind of local video host, it sets you above and apart from all others. A lot of these providers struggle. They have low profit margins. They don't have a platform to have a voice out there to the senior care community. So that's the way we need to position you as a host, as that hub for elder care in their market.
Well, now we're going to talk a little bit about our content strategies. And, you know, as Aaron alluded to earlier, content is now king. And creating systems and strategies that produce regular, unique content is really what we're about here. You know, within the next 12 months, it should be the goal for every one of our Eldercare channels that every single page features unique content. And to help us accomplish that goal, there are a number of different things that we want to be able to do. Now, first off, we've alluded to the idea of having a video studio in your office. And one of the things that we're able to do, should you wish, is we can actually help you set up a small, professional, inexpensive video studio that will allow you personally to do a lot of the FAQ stuff that Aaron's going to be talking about in a little bit, but also to really create sort of a center where we've got correspondents and we've got vendors and we've got different folks coming in and doing interviews and creating content that we will then take the transcripts of, we'll publish it, we'll edit it, we'll publish it, and then it'll be syndicated. And so over the next 4 weeks, if you would like us to, again, we can help you set up the studio, we can help you find a correspondent, we can actually coordinate a meeting with that correspondent and provide training for them. And then we can also get in a position where that correspondent is helping to really put together and shoot the content that we know, and Aaron's done a lot of research on this. We know the articles that we want, and we're going to get that from these correspondents. So, you know, that's kind of it as far as what we're looking for in the short term. Aaron, you want to talk about our content map?
Sure. And many of you might be saying at this point, how will this translate down to ground level? That's what we're going to cover next, is a specific timeline to find a correspondent, get the right infrastructure in place, and start having each channel become a content engine. What I want to look at here, what I want to cover here rather, is a schematic of a channel content strategy. So if we're looking at, for example, the Denver Eldercare channel, we have a specific menu and set of content for each category that's going to attract certain search terms. Now, a lot of people don't understand and it's a huge enlightenment when you understand the way search terms work. A lot of businesses are trying to target what we call short tail search terms. They think that if you rank for elder law Cleveland or home care San Diego, that you're going to get tons of traffic and customers. So they sit and wait for their websites to produce traffic to find that that's not the case. 80% of searches online are what we call informational queries. Now, that is simply people asking questions related to their need, in this case, senior care. How do I pay for home care? How long does it take to get Medicaid? What questions should I ask an assisted living community? How many beds should a good assisted living community have, and on down the list. So we've identified the top search terms for each category, and we have a specific plan starting with answering those FAQs, doing reviews of local providers, and really attracting the real traffic, the qualified traffic of somebody in your area asking a specific question. Now, there's a very key point here for each of you hosts to understand, is that we have a kind of a short and long-term strategy. What I call the content blitz is that we need to get FAQs related to your area of expertise ASAP. In the next slide, we're going to talk about a specific strategy we need to implement to do that, but it's really, we need you to answer FAQs. So if you're an elder law attorney, FAQs related to elder law and Medicaid. We have the top questions people are searching for. All you need to do is answer those. So when we talk about video homework, we need those FAQs answered in video, text, or audio format by you, and this is a top priority. Now, when I say audio format, we could record a phone conversation. We've already uploaded these FAQs to your Basecamp project. You simply need to answer them, and if you want to implement video, we're going to make that easy for you to do as well. But the top priority leaving this webinar, aside from signing up for the boot camp we're going to cover, is for you to answer the FAQs so we can make your channel a resource, so putting your specific category at the top of the list.
And next, what we want to do is we want to work with our correspondents and other resources to create those video articles for each category. Again, we know the ones that we want. We've got specific requests for this information. We want to get to a place where we're inviting some of the key industry players to come in and do some insider tip articles that we'll publish on the various category pages that will attract additional articles and a lot of interest. And then finally, we want to get to a point where we're able to do regular interviews with providers there in the area. And one of the great benefits of that is as these providers are coming in and you're offering them, again, this stage and this audience, they're getting to know you in a way that none of your competitors can offer. And you're providing them something that's wonderful and lasting, and you're going to be able to create a relationship with them, again, that has great potential to send you many referrals. Now, all of that sounds great. That's a lot of great theory, and now I want to talk practice, and I want to talk about what we're going to be doing in the weeks ahead. We are going to be coordinating a voluntary training camp for our hosts or our host representatives or both. It's an 8-week camp. It is a series of meetings. Some are 15 minutes, some are half an hour, some are an hour. Each meeting has specific agendas and has specific outcome, expectations, and action steps that will follow. The meetings will be coordinated actually and will be run by me and by my colleague Jennifer Duvall. The curriculum of the meetings of the 8-week course will address, again, every component that we've discussed today in the webinar, and specifically as it pertains to your channel, your market, your area of expertise. The sign-ups for the camp will be coordinated next week via email, and our meeting coordinator, Ms. Bethany Jett, will be the person that's setting that up. Now, 8 weeks from the day that your camp begins, what can you expect? Well, first and foremost, you will have answered and published all of those critical questions for your directory page on your Eldercare channel that are going to make that page incredibly competitive across the spectrum for search in your specific profession. You will have a relationship with at least one correspondent, if not 2 or 3. We will have content creating systems. They'll be up and operating. They'll be generating fresh, unique content for your site. You'll understand how to use your Eldercare channel to build those relationships that we were talking about, not only with the correspondents, but with all the vendors in your area. You'll also have a very clear picture and a clear plan on how to generate advertising revenue with your channel. We'll make you comfortable with all the ins and outs of Basecamp. It's going to be a tool that you're absolutely going to love. It's going to keep the trains running on time. You'll have a clear picture about how we measure success. What are those metrics? What do they look like? And specifically, we're going to have goals that we are going to set forth to accomplish over the next 12 months, and action steps in place to accomplish those goals. And best yet, all of that is going to be set up in your specific Basecamp, and we're going to be able to measure progress literally on a daily and weekly basis. So that's how we're going to do that. So that is the big picture, and that is what we're going to do this coming year to take your Eldercare channel and your business to the next level. I invite everyone on this call today, and any of your colleagues who would also like to participate, to join me for your very own Eldercare channel training camp. Later today, you will receive an email inviting you to the camp, together with a link to today's webinar. All you need to do to register is email back that you would like to participate, and Ms. Bethany Jett, our meeting coordinator, will be in touch to schedule everything. On behalf of Aaron Fletcher and our entire Eldercare channel team, I want to thank you for attending today's webinar. We can't wait to work with each and every one of you in the weeks ahead to create something truly extraordinary and have a lot of fun while we do it. Take care and have a great weekend.
Thank you very much.